Corinthians chapter 9, starting from verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize?
So in those days, there was the Olympics kind of thing done by the Greeks. And I think the Romans too. Or was it the Romans? I said, yeah, start with the Greeks, then went to the Romans
Greeks,
also. And then the Romans, they had these games, and then they picked up this game. Because the Greek culture,
Mount
which we call
Olympia.
Hellenistic culture. Because the Greeks never called themselves Greeks, by the way, initially.
Yeah,
They called
they
themselves
did not.
Hellenists.
Yeah.
And not hell, but Hellenists. And you know, their culture included these sports. So Paul is using that, talking of people participating in a sport, in a game, how they run, and they all run to obtain a prize. Yes, go ahead, sir.
They run all, but one receiveth the prize.
Okay. Not all receive the prize. You have to run well to get the prize and finish.
I was going to say that by this time you're talking about, I think you're trying to tie in the Greek culture and the Roman culture. The Romans drank a lot
From the
of the
Greeks.
Greek culture
Yeah.
in architecture, in things like this. So by this time, the Olympic Games, which is what you're saying about the race that was going on, because this is Paul, who was
Yes.
in a Roman Empire.
Yes, yes.
So how did he see?
They picked it from
So they
Athens.
picked it
It's
all
now
the way from
become
Greece
part
and it became part
Roman
of the
culture.
Roman culture.
That's right.
So run that ye may obtain.
Now he's telling us, you in the kingdom, God has a purpose for your life. Run that you may obtain. Run that you may obtain your heavenly prize. You can continue.
And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
Every man or woman who is striving for mastery, you want to accomplish what God wants to accomplish. You want to become good at what God says you should do. That thing, purpose, developing your potential, fulfilling God's ordained purpose, not the one you create for yourself. You want to achieve his results, fulfill what you are saying, to please him well. You want to run a good race and finish well in a way you please your Father. He says, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Yes. He must be temperate. The word temperate is self-control. Temperate is self-control. In what?
All things.
All things. So in every area we
Not
must have
some
self-control.
things.
Not some things.
Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
So these guys in sports do it to obtain, you know, they used to put some reeds on them and all. Today in Olympics and other games, they give you medals. But all these things they give, even money, is corruptible. It's corruptible. It won't go with you into eternity. It's good. They should bless
It
you,
will perish.
but it will perish. It won't last into it. That's why they call it. It's not a lastable riches. You know, it won't last forever into eternity. But we are doing this thing. Everything we are doing in the kingdom is for what they call it there?
Incorruptible.
Incorruptible. This one is true riches because it's not corrupt. It goes with you into eternity. It speaks for you in eternity. You know, we are running a race, like the Bible says in Hebrews 12, that will last you into eternity. When you finish well, what you will receive will speak for you in eternity. You know, we need to run that. And Paul said, if this is not true, then we are the most miserable of men. Because all these things we are denying ourselves, then we are wasting our time. But we know this thing is true. Yes. And then we will talk about it when we just break this down. Yes.
Verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air.
Now this is Paul speaking. He says, so because of all this, my own race, because we all have our own race.
Yeah.
We are in the same ministry now, but we are all running our own race.
Yeah.
And I want to show you how we are running our race. Director, you have to get a big shot here. Professor Apostolic. You know, normally people make a mistake. And they think this is how you are running your race. I will show you now. Let's be on the same line. Don't mind. Yeah. Professor, step a bit forward. Yeah. So we are on the same line. Yes. Normally, people think of race like this. Let me show you. Now, all of you turn this way to the left. They think like this. So the only way Prophet Esther is ever going to have to be here is if somehow she can get me out of the way.
We call it in Swahili, ondoa jam. That is remove the jam.
I'm causing
Remove
traffic.
the jam. There is traffic.
Are we together? I'm causing traffic here. You know? So unless like this, that's the way most people think. So if I'm leading this group, unless like this, they can't ever lead, they can't get to their fullness. So unless I sleep, God takes me, then the next person heads. No, we missed it. This is how it actually is. Let's all face again.
By the way, Apostle.
yes, okay. Explain. Yes. Do we
as-
stay like this as we are explaining?
Yes, yes.
Because there is
Please
the-
face forward.
They are adding. So
Yes.
I face forward.
I was
Okay.
going to say that when you said unless you sleep as in sleep how? Which
Sleep to be with the Lord, which I'm
So-
not yet going.
So unless
So
and-
traffic will be there
so
for long.
what has been understood in time past is that unless this man of God or person goes to be with the Lord, this other person cannot.
Yes.
Overtake.
And I was going to say that this does not only apply to church or a spiritual context, even to those in organizations, in companies, that we are running a race. But you are saying the only way you will shine, because you are looking at the hierarchical structure or the organizational structure, and you're saying, unless the person at the top is removed, and you're able, and several others, till you get to that place. That's how many people say, when will I run my own? When will I get to my turn? And that's the same scenario. You can use it, family, ministry, company, organization. That's the same analogy.
Are we okay?
Oh, yes.
I go on? Okay. So if we are running like this, they're all running my race, you see? And nobody is moving except me. Now that's because you're seeing the wrong picture. That's the perspective. And that perspective comes from your school, your education. You spend so much time in a school that told you first, second, third, fourth. And that's why even when you hear of your classmates today, you're asking, so what are they driving? Where do they live? Which part of town? What job? How much are they paying? You have come again with your grading.
First, second, third.
First, second, third. It's still in your brain and it's the way you interpret. But this is the way it is. Let's all turn. This is the way it is. Even if I am ahead, let me show you. I am here. Let's imagine I'm here. Prophetess, just move a little. A little, okay. Professor, just move a little. Okay, no, just stay where you are. Apostle, move back a little. Let's imagine I am like this. I'm still leading them, maybe like this. But this is the picture. When you run a race, have you seen people running 100 meters? 100 meters. Have you noticed the track has lanes? This is my lane. Prophet Esther has her lane. Prophet Susan has her lane. Apostle Eric has his lane. And if I cross into this lane, what will they do to me?
We are going to push you out and kick you out.
Do you know, you can still lead people like this, but do you know something? When you see it this way, it's different because everybody has their lane. You have your uniqueness. Even of assignment in the midst of it. So that like this, because some people, because of self, they get threatened. You know, if we are the other way, you don't want anybody. So you are, if we are this way, let's turn the other way.
So the race is
if we are this way and anybody is trying to overtake, you...
Hey, Kai.
Nunchaku. You know, that's how human beings behave.
Yes.
Even at 72 years old, we have some people doing those things. We look ridiculous. But if you are like this, guess what? If I'm like this, guess what? Everybody has their lane, their unique purpose. So guess what? Everybody can fulfill their purpose in the midst. I can still pull them forward like this to where I am. Even ahead. Professor, move forward. Yes? Apostolic, move forward. All of us fulfilling purpose in our own lane. So you are not threatened by using your strength to help the other person move forward.
Move forward.
Even if they moved ahead of me, Apostolic, say, okay, the camera won't get you.
Apostolic will fall over.
Apostolic, the camera won't get you. Say, Prophet Esther moved forward. Move a bit. She won't mind. We won't mind because why? From where she is, the camera can still get her. From where she is, guess what she can still do? Prophet Esther, just pull, okay, because of there's no space for Prophet Susan.
Also.
Okay. What you do, just look at me, and then just like you are pulling me forward. I can use her strength. Because I won't take from her. She won't take from me. I can see the cameraman adjusting. We can take our... No, you want to say something before we go?
No,
Move back, Prophet Esther, I think.
I was going
no,
to
let's be on the same line so that in case you want to use it for an analogy.
I was going to say even in a normal track of, a 4x4, whatever, just a normal track, you find that the first person's lane starts way behind, the second person a bit in front, the third person a bit in
Okay,
front.
that's when they are running now.
At least beyond
full-
100.
beyond
Daniel,
100,
where is
The
Daniel?
400.
Yeah,
yes.
400.
Daniel,
Yes.
been
But
here.
it's not
400
that
meters.
your race is more advantaged than this person's race. Because what happens,
Still
people
the
feel
same space.
that you're going a shorter distance because now you are the inner circle. No, the distance is still the same.
So from the 200, Daniel is a runner. Daniel is one of our crew here. So from 200 meters, then the lanes are what Prophet Susan said. One, the first lane here, the second lane. There's the lanes. Okay, so almost a meter, but in terms of apart, about a meter apart, yeah.
Yes, and so that's the insecurity people have, that no, you are doing a shorter distance. Why don't I come to where you are?
Because now that
Yes.
one will be like this,
Yes.
something like that. Yeah.
So I feel like, you're running in the inner lane,
Inner
so you
lane.
must be doing a shorter distance than I'm doing. But
Yet
in
it's the
essence,
same
it's
distance
the
we're all
same
going.
distance, because to every one of us, our path is all unique. So I can't begin comparing with you and trying to do what you're supposed to do, because I'm thinking you're more advantaged. No, we are all the same.
Are we okay?
Yes.
We are okay.
Yes.
Okay. God bless you. Thank you. Camera crew, well done. Technical. I know you may not have prepared for that, but it's very important. That way you are secure. So what he's saying is that every man here running his race. And yet we must have self-control as we run it if we want to obtain the mastery. Where were you on the verse?
I was on 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly.
So we are not running uncertainly. We are staying on our track. Everybody on his lane.
Yes.
Because you don't run zigzag, just anyhow. Then you see your auntie in the spectator stand. Then you run there. You ask her, hey, how is mom, Made, as we say here? How are my cousins? Okay. Then you run back. No. You are focused on your purpose. That's what Paul says. When we run the race of life, we are focused on purpose. And like Prophet Susan said, you are not competing with the person in the other lane. It is your school system that taught you to compete. If you stay in your uniqueness, you are competing with nobody. Listen, you are the only one with these fingerprints. 1 in 8 billion or more people. That's how unique your purpose is. You are not running to outrun Regina in her purpose. You are running to fulfill your purpose. You are actually running with God's picture for you. You are trying to keep up with God's picture, God's purpose for you. Okay. So it says, I'm not running uncertainly, neither am I what?
So fight I, not as one that
beats the
beateth
air. You know, beating the air. Have you seen a boxer doing shadow boxing? Shadow boxing. It's called shadow boxing. They are not hitting anything, not even the punching bag, but they are just practicing, those moves, and then, giving blows. That's called shadow boxing. You are not really making impact on any enemy or opponent. You are beating the air. And that's what Paul is saying. And neither am I running like one that beats the air. I'm not fighting now like one that beats the air. We are making impact on our way to fulfilling a set objective by God.